You got us feeling alright. La 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 la. It's the piano man. Welcome to the show tonight or this afternoon. Welcome to the show. I'm AJ chilling in the house, talking with Shad, and it feels like a great one. It feels great. Feels great to be here. Feels great to be here. What's up, everybody? Good to see you all. Yo, we got some big shit coming, all right? The return of the prediction shows in 2026 commences tomorrow, or actually Sunday. But I'm probably going to record the video tomorrow and then upload it Sunday afternoon. So, Sunday, it's back on business officially, bringing the thunder. And then from there on, Moneyline is back Monday. Obviously, the live streams throughout the week. I took yesterday off, bro. I chilled. I fucking said, let me just rest and relax, bro. Build some anticipation for this impending UFC return because I'm not going to be taking any days off once it starts. So, Sunday, it's everyday J again. You know what I'm saying? I won't take any days off. The only day I'm probably going to take off is when there's no UFC Saturday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. That's the only day. And then for the next 12 weeks, there's really one day off. You see Lucas's new GOAT list? I'd call it a GOAT film. I watched some of it. I kind of sped through it. I won't lie. I like the list. Ilya at 5, though, huh? Already? Ilya already surpasses Mighty Mouse? Interesting. I might have to make my variation of that type of video this year. But I'll wait till after the Volk fight against Lopez. No, I didn't fail any New Year's resolution, bro. I've been pretty timely with the streams, man. I've been a lot better than I was in 2025. So, but yeah, bro, we bringing some thunder. I got some good video ideas. What'd you guys think of that tier list? An AJ GOAT list would be sick. I have to do it eventually. I do. I will. Just I want it to be good if I do it, you know? I want it to be good shit. I don't want it to be garbage, you know what I'm saying? I'm just excited to be back on business with the streams, chat. The God honest truth of them all. It's gonna be fun. What's up, Braden? What's up? What's up? An AJ Goatless. Forgot you were showing the hoodie. Yes. From Jersey Girl to me, and then the gift to the world, the MMA experts official hoodie. No, I haven't shown the back yet. I'll do it now. So the experts hoodie, bro. You realize there's gonna be a ton of merch that I can make. This is just, I'm kind of just teasing you guys with all the merch. And eventually you guys can cop some of your own. Yeah, the hoodie's A tier. Thank you, Jersey Girl. It was a blessing. 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 Ilya's wins over Charles, Max, and Volk is low-key better than any of Mighty Mouse's wins. Just Mighty has a lot of good wins. Fair. You're right, Swerve. Listen, name value-wise, he's beaten 3 Savages, whereas, the best guy Mighty Mouse ever beat in his career, Henry Cejudo. Right? Cejudo. And then he obviously lost the rematch. Where's the Diet Coke? I'm saving the Diet Cokes for later, bro. I'm doing no Diet Coke, Jay, this stream. I just got a little water and coffee. You think Waldo's taking home the W? I don't know. I'm gonna tell you guys behind the scenes information on that prediction. Because I was watching some more film on it because I was like, let me just fucking re-up on that fight, And I'm watching one thing Waldo has a habit of doing is against the cage. Sometimes he'll square up and kind of just flail his arms with like slappy flurries, especially when the Liha fight around the time that he got eye poked, it was happening, right? I will say, if you just sit there and slap with Derek Lewis and he hits you with one big shot that you don't see coming, your night is done. So I just feel like Derek Lewis has such a puncher's chance in the fight if he is able to pressure Waldo against the cage. That's the main thing. If he's able to pressure him up against the cage. What happened to the gaming stream on Wednesday? Dude, I just needed to lay low. I just needed a rest. I was like, I didn't feel like it. I said, nah, I'm going to relax. You have a sketch feeling about John Silva. Arnold Allen's very sharp, but I will add John Silva is cleaner. I was watching Arnold Allen yesterday too, and he's got good speed. He's got nice volume. But I will say he does have more of that bent, forward stance. And that type of stance, more bent forward like that, it's not the best for elusivity, right? With like head movement and things. Not that he's awful. He does the basics. But I will say he uses the cross block, which is interesting. I'm curious to see how the cross block works against John Silva. I just think he's going to eat some straight punches, him being southpaw. I also think another element of it is he hasn't fought in a while. He relies on the cross block, which is a cool block, but I don't know with John Silva, man. It's just Arnold Allen went 5 rounds with Max Holloway. Max Holloway is a great boxer and a great volume puncher, but at 155, he's not a power hitter. You know what I'm saying? At or excuse me, at 145, excuse me. At 155, he's more of a power puncher, to be honest. But at 145, I look at Arnold Allen, Movzar, good fight, good back and forth. I look at him, he whooped Giga Chikadze's ass. But it's just, dude, John Silva, say what you want. The Diego Lopez fight, the fucking striking is good. The striking is more than good. The striking is really good. So, does Arnold Allen bring a threat of grappling to the fight? Because I think for Arnold Allen to find success in this fight, he needs to mix it up. In a pure kickboxing fight, the John Silva power will eventually get to him, regardless of round number one, the defensive abilities of Arnold Allen holding up. Round number one, the slickness of Arnold Allen holding up. When we head into round two, right? You head into the middle of round two. John Silva's eventually going to start catching him with shots. And I just don't love that in a striking fight. And now, if you mix in some grappling, sure, I could see Arnold Allen hitting a couple takedowns. But when I think of Arnold Allen, I don't think of a monster with ground and pound or a serious submission threat. I think of a well rounded guy who's got striking as the priority, right? This is a tough fight for him. Tough fight for him. The Allen layoff has me going. So listen, bro. It makes perfect sense. If Allen was more active, we'd have a better idea. What's up, Mick Stapler? If I was Waldo's coach, I would just be telling him one word: movement. If he stays moving, blitzes in and out, then he can easily beat a slower, less athletic D-Lou. He could stay moving and boxing him from range, but eventually I think he gets punched a few times, getting backed up against the cage. So I don't know, man. I don't know if he can just move on D-Lou all night, For 3 rounds, can he just tune him up with a boxing approach? That Hernandez interview was hilarious. He said that he's not going to be smoking weed in the lead up to the fight. Let me tell you, I low-key am worried about that. Low-key. I think that lost Diego lit a fire under John. He's going to come out a lot more composed, patient, and is eventually going to find the chin. Diego's the only man walking at 145 that can eat those shots. Yeah. And he rocked Diego. So I think so too. Hey, what's up, Useless? How you been, bro? I hope work's going okay, my man. You been training with Kimbo Slice? You trying to be ready for that fight? Mick Stapler, bro, you got the edge because I have not been using Mike Tyson at all. Lewis gets the KO. Then we get Lewis versus Poatan on the White House card for the vacant heavyweight belt. It's just crazy enough to work. I mean, but I think Cyril Gane would be next. I don't think it's a vacant belt. Unless he's injured or something like that. Your interview comment on the Fluffy and Ariel thing? Wait, would you say that's dark? I didn't see it. No, Arnold Allen wasn't jumped. He was lying. It was a joke. That was all a joke, bro. AJ Boogie with the hoodie is crazy. Yeah, next week is nice back on business, Jay, bro. I'm looking forward to it. Mike Tyson feels like Topuria at heavyweight. Well, that's good to know in a strikers only fight. Damn, I didn't know that. I've never played as Mike Tyson in UFC 5. I'm doing good, King's World. What's up, homie? Chilling, bro. Excited, bro. I'm excited for next week. I'm excited to be back on business. I'm excited to be back to the usual grind, you know? Mansoor Abdul Malik versus Yusri. I want to ask you how you think that plays out. I feel like I have to go Mansoor. I can't be overly sold on Yusri because of what he did to Azamat Bakoyev when I think that Azamat Bakoyev maybe was a tad bit overrated. And, Abdul Malik is a more athletic guy than Bakoyev. He's a bigger guy than Bakoyev. And I'm not sold on Yusri. I thought he sucked on, the Ultimate Fire, the Contender Series. Then he looked good against Bakoyev. But was it also that Bakoyev is just incredibly overrated? I think I got to go Malik, man. But I'm worried about that fight too. Bro, I was driving my girl to work, dropped my daughter off at daycare this morning, and almost went into the median of the highway, completely unplowed interstate. That's fucking crazy. What the fuck? Wow. That's insane. Well, I'm glad that you didn't, bro. That would have been terrible. Kimbo is slow but powerful. I might be in trouble. We'll run that soon, bro. I'm sorry we didn't do it yesterday, but or the day before. I needed a day out. Day out to warm up, you know? Because you guys know, bro, when the content really starts, like I don't stop. It's gonna be all day, every day. It's gonna be more than ever before. Your car fishtailed and you had to hold on for dear life. Holy shit. That's insane, bro. I'm glad you're okay, bro. Holy shit. That's it, bro. It's time to get your fucking passport, bro. We're gonna send you somewhere. I don't know. We gotta get you stateside, or for God's sake, man, maybe you gotta move to Nicaragua, bro. You can go chill with KZ. Cause yeah, that sounds tough, bro. That's tough, dude. That cold weather, man. Yo, W. Chris Hayes, bro. Ready for the next few weeks of content, bro. This break from UFC has been dog water. 100 KJ by December. Let's fucking do it. Let's go, Chris Hayes. Thank you for 9.99, man. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to lock in more than ever before, bro. I'm ready to step up the content. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm like heading into like the fight, but the fight is every day. Like I just feel ready. I don't know how to describe it, bro. Like it's just a good feeling. Like the content is gonna step up. I'm gonna wake up earlier. I plan on doing more videos. If there's news, I'm doing a video. On top of everything I'm already doing. I'm trying to fill like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I would say or 3 days where if there's news a poppin', I'm gonna be a dropping. And then, if it's on a Wednesday, obviously I got to do this week's specimen May bets is number one priority, but later I could do it. If it's on, a Friday, the weigh-in show kind of just takes over. And that's just how the game goes. I'm not gonna fuck with my Friday weigh-in, show. And then if it's Monday, I'll make it happen. If it's Sunday, again, Monday I can make it happen. So we're gonna bring some thunder. I'm ready to lock in, bro. I got some good things coming. We're gonna start the year off like a savage. The consistency will be unmatched beyond to what it normally is. It's gonna be bigger. It's gonna be better. I feel like I finally like found my flow state with my thumbnails too. Took me years, bro, to get those news reaction thumbnails, but I realized something 2 months ago. I said I want to be the fucking face of the thumbnail. I want to put myself right in the center. People don't want to click on it because my face is in it. Okay, go watch somebody else. And doing that, I feel like has, I don't know, just set me up for better content. Like it's just figuring out that my thumbnail style is me on the fucking front with then, shit in the background. And if like, if people ain't gonna click on it, what the end of it, it's a YouTube video. What do you think? Like it's gonna be something like this, It's gonna be me. Like this. I fucked with this one a lot. I didn't really care necessarily how the numbers of that video moved as much as I gave a shit about like people that want to watch are gonna click. Music. I mean, of course, I like some pop and shit. You can make a top video of top 10 or top 5 confirmed matchups of 2026. It's a solid idea. Most hype fights, fights I'm most excited for in 2026 so far. AJ in the black fresh experts hoodie. We need MMA expert Shiesty. I know it's gonna happen. Listen, I'm just gonna make you guys wait. I'm building anticipation. You're improving and bringing the heat. Even your video on the future matchups you called so many fire. Hey, thanks, useless. My dog. It's all coming together, man. O'Malley versus Song is the co-main, and yeah, I saw an Italian Rose in the main card. I told you guys, I don't think they're putting Umar in the main card because there's a plan. It's Sean O'Malley winning. Sean O'Malley win and send it out. You disagree? I feel like your face in the thumbnail is more personable. Fuck it. Good. I mean, that's good though. That's what I want. I want it to be more personable. I want it to be like, you know, whose video you're watching about the subject, you know? Islam number one. Dude, it's hard to deny at this point. He's got legendary wins. Volkanovski twice, you know, regardless of the second fight being short notice. He beat Charles Oliveira. He beat Dustin Poirier. He beat Jack Della Maddalena. I think for me, to secure it, which will make it more clear, is the title defense. Should make a video on why Kayla's weight cut probably caused her injuries. That frame is not meant to be that small. That's true. Honestly, I should have done that already. The weight cut, you know, increasing the chance of fucking injury risk. Hey, where's Zagar? What's up, bro? Ateba Gastelum would have been great. I think eventually. Prime Anderson versus Alex at 185 would have gone. Dude, I think Alex would have knocked him out. I think he's too big. I think we have to look at Anderson Silva as a great fighter, but when you judge his opposition rate and you stack it up to modern MMA, how does the Spider compare? He's definitely a top guy. Okay, he's definitely elite. But let's look at something real here. Okay, Anderson Silva's UFC career. Win against Chris Lieben. Where does Chris Lieben rank amongst the guys today? He's probably a fun back ender. I'll compare a Chris Lieben, probably like you know, a little bit better Nico Price, even though it's a different weight class, that type of fighter. What is Rich Franklin? Is Rich Franklin, you know, on comparison with who? In the middleweight division, is Rich Franklin, even though he's a former champion, even though he had that 22-1 record, is he better than a Jun Young Park? Is he on par with Jun Young Park, maybe? Right? He might be a little better than that. Okay. So those are his wins, you know. Travis Luter, decent jiu-jitsu. Nate Marquardt, tough customer. I don't know. What could we compare him to? A worse Joe Pyfer? Like, who would he be in the modern day? In the, you know, middleweight division? Who could I really compare him to? Is he better than a Jun Young Park? Is he on par with a Jun Young Park? Is he maybe a little more powerful? Maybe he's Jun Young Park too. Same with Rich Franklin. All right, Dan Henderson's good. Dan Henderson's a contender. Dan Henderson is on that contender. He's a top 10. He's top 15, top 10, even today. Yes, that's a good win. James Irvin, again, I'm put him on like the Park level, okay? Patrick Cote, I think he's like a little lower than that. He might be more like an Eric Anders, you know? Talis Late says, we'll say Andre Muniz, right? Forrest Griffin. I mean, does he beat Alonzo Menafield? I'm going to ask you guys this question. Does Forrest Griffin beat Alonzo Menafield? Prime Forrest Griffin. Does he? He probably gets a decision over him. So we'll say top 15, right? On the cusp of it. Decent guy. Gets some wins, but is not going to win against the better guys. We'll say Forrest Griffin is a Nikita Krylov, but maybe not as good, right? So that's a decent W. Damian Maya, high-level jiu-jitsu. You know, he's a top caliber guy, but at middleweight, he wasn't as good. He's better at welterweight. Chael Sonnen, good, strong wrestler. Dominated him for a lot of the fight. There's not really anybody like that in the modern middleweight division that, like, comes to mind in this current era. You know? The cut looks clean. Hey, thanks, Braden K. like a beastly grappler. You know, he's not like a Hamzat or anything. Yushin Okan, Vitor Belfort, big puncher. He's like a Paulo Costa. That's a good win, right? He beat Vitor, Stefan Bonner. It's not a, it's more he's tough customer. But where I'm really going with this, Anderson Silva is certainly still a top guy world, you know? Anderson Silva is still a top guy. But when I really think modern era, how do his wins stack up? If Anderson Silva in his prime fought Poatan, I think it would be a very cool fight. I think it would be a fight that's like a battle of inches, but I think it would be similar to the Adesanya fight. And I don't think Anderson would necessarily knock him out. I could see it being more like, the early portion of fight number 2 in the UFC. What was your comment, bro? I got to check for it, Doug. Kayla won't be on the White House card after surgery, which is a shame. I know. Josh Thompson was saying it should be out until the back end of the year. That neck is tough. I know. Yeah, so they'll probably run that Amanda Nunes fight later, and I don't think Nunes is going to fight anybody else in the meantime. Maybe at the White House card. Idea. You guys tell me if I'm crazy. White House card. They do a women's BMF belt. They do a women's BMF title. Amanda Nunes, Valentina Shevchenko 3. Is it worth our time? Maybe. Prime Force lose a clean 30-26 against Rakic. I think so too. Yeah. I think he falls at like number 12. Bro, if you took Chuck Liddell, Rampage, Tito, Rich Franklin, Forrest, and dropped them with the skill set in today's UFC, none of them would even be top 15. I think they could get to top 15. I do. I think they could. Let's not overrate the light heavyweight top 15 for a second. Let's be honest here. Ming Yang Zhang, right? Nikita Krylov, Johnny Walker. Rampage could have a chance in his prime to catch those guys. Rampage would do okay. Him and Bogdan Gushkov could end up being an interesting fight. What's up, AJ? Good to see you, brother. Anderson Silva's run was crazy back in the day. Very certain that Rio Chonin fight in Pride was rigged. He even tapped before the sub was in. I'm sure it was. But Pride rigged plenty of fights. Rio Chonin, that's a fucking throwback. Swerve, thank you for the 5, bro. Give a little $5 to Big J just to support, by the way. 3 calf kicks from Poatan and Anderson's limping. Prime Anderson is probably 5'6", ranked at 185 today. I think that's a very real call. That's a very real call. That's a very honest take. That's a very honest take. Let's see. Anderson Silva, Nazaruddin Imavov. I feel like Imavov. I feel like Duplessis could get one over him. I think depending on Brendan Allen if he gets caught or not, but I could see Anderson being taken down there. That's tough, bro. Hey, thanks for the hype on the sweatshirt, Keel. I see you, bro. I see you, bro. I think old strikers have a much better chance of translating to modern MMA than an old grappler would. Grappling has evolved so much. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I think you're right on that because I think the old school Chael Sonnen wrestling style, sure, he can still nab some takedowns, but everybody can stop takedowns. And if you can't box, you're fucked. The problem is so many of these people have nostalgia bias because that was the era they fell in love with the sport, but actually comparing skill levels from now and then isn't really close. I agree, Swerve, and I love the old era. If I compare the old era champions to today, guys who are still elite, I would say Mighty Mouse for sure still can run it with the top guys in the world. I don't have a doubt. I don't have a doubt that Mighty Mouse right now is in the top 3 of flyweight, if not, becoming the champion, beats Joshua Van. I would say George St. Pierre, Islam is very interesting fight. I think GSP could find some success. I think Islam could find some success too. I think it'd be competitive. I think that Anderson Silva, again, I see top five, but I think he would struggle with some of these modern era grapplers too, like a Fluffy Hernandez potentially. But on the flip side, the dangerous impact of his strikes, he could end up knocking guys like that out. So then it would be, kind of the Amavovs of the world with the tactical striking in him in a back and forth close fight. And I think potential to get outworked over 5 rounds. Then I look at other champions of old. If we going way back, Rashad Evans, he's top 15, not elite. Lyoto Machida, I think, again, it could be top 15, but I could see him getting clipped by a Ming Yang Zhang and put to bed. Shogun Hua, I think that, he'd be in for some super fun fights. Like Shogun would have been awesome to watch in the modern era, but I don't think he makes it to the top of the weight class. I think Shogun Hua is Bogdan Gushkov. I know it's weird to say, but I think it is. I think like Jan Blachowicz and him would look similar to Bogdan and Shogun Hua. Prime Shogun would probably lose to championship Jan Blachowicz. Brock Lesnar, in his heavyweight prime, is probably not winning against the side of Curtis Blades. Hey, Kevin from Chicago. I'm actually on the cut right now. I've lost 6 pounds so far. 6 pounds down. AJ Wyatt from Fight Society and many of his followers agreed that you and him would make a great collab. Hey, we're going to do it, bro. Me and Fight Society would collab. I like him a lot, bro. I do. I just, he's got a good vibe, bro. I look at some of his videos. I'm like, he's just a good dude. Yeah, me and him are going to collab this year. I think that'll be fun. As the UFC gets kicking off, we'll do something. I'll talk to him and, yeah, we'll do some. I think me and him would have a good back and forth banter and we'll see how that would go. But I think that'd be fun, man. I think like a collab between, creators like him and that could be something big for the space too. Yeah, I like that idea. I'll definitely be reaching out to him, man. He's got really good videos, man. He's motivating. He stays after it. He makes good news videos. I like the style that he does it in, bro. I would like to honestly adopt some of that mentality for my own with some news videos. Hey, happy Friday, Simply Trolling, my dog. The old days were sick. I watched a ton of Robbie Lawler fights recently, and he was a fucking G. That being said, he gets taken down a sub by number 7, Sean Brady, in 3 minutes. You're probably right. You worry about GSP's gas tank. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh my God. Usyk versus Wilder. I did see. I almost wanted to do a video on that. You were the first one to tell me about Fight Society, Doug. You were. I want tech to get to the point where we could watch some of these matches with clones or some shit. Imagine how bad Frankie Edgar would get fucked up at modern day lightweight. He's so undersized. I mean, Frankie Edgar right now versus Manuel Torres, bro. He's too small. Frankie would have to be a fucking 35er in this modern era. Dude, I feel like he's smaller than Ayman Zahabi. Your aunt herniated her spine years ago, still has chronic soreness after surgery and physio. Very fucked. And I imagine, combat athlete. It's crazy. You've been watching a lot of Pride fights, and it's very weird seeing Rampage not being able to box, just picking fighters up and slamming the hell out of them. That's a classic era of Rampage. Freaky strong back then. What's up, Wildy's Adventure? Good to see you, bro. I'm sure Kayla will get stem cells. Armin IRL streams. Arman Sarukian. He's doing IRL streams himself. I thought he was just collabing up with guys. That's pretty crazy. Dun, 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 dun. Gohan Saki in his prime would have been fun. Dude, when he got to the UFC, Khalil Roundtree starched him bad. Bad, bad, bad. Your Wi-Fi crashed for a bit. Curious, Fedor, Poatan, at heavyweight? Bruh, I really have to say, I think Fedor's grappling could be enough, man. But then again, one shot from Poatan and it's done. I want to see a heavyweight Poatan first. Like if Poatan knocks Cyril Gane out, I feel like I can make a more accurate analysis of it, as opposed to right now. Hey, what's up, Full Send MMA? Good to see you, bro. I look forward to you and Wyatt collaborating. Thanks for your consistent hustle and interaction with your followers. Hey, of course, Daryl. I love the shit, bro. Thank you for the fight, big homie. W, bro. W, Daryl. I'm glad to hear though that his subs like the idea. I think it'll be a good show. We'll do it. We'll do it. That's a collab I'm very hyped for. We'll do it. Especially 170. That division evolved so much. Shavkat, Ian, Prates, Morales. Those guys are fucking massive and are so damn good and talented. OGs like Hughes, Koscheck, Dan Hardy get bulldozed. Right. Like Hughes today was like Sean Brady without the jiu-jitsu, just the wrestling. Koscheck, I don't know who to compare Koscheck to. Who is Josh Koscheck today? Is he Charles Radke without the power? Dan Hardy. If I'm looking at the top 15, Dan Hardy today. I think he can beat D-Rod, though. I think D-Rod, of all the top 15 right now in the UFC welterweight division, the misplaced guy is D-Rod. He's a badass for being a dog and getting into the top 15. But when I think about it, really, D-Rod has the most old school skill set and somehow is top 15. That's crazy. It'd be interesting, but the sport is so young and the skill sets evolve so quick that it would have to take an older fighter who is so far ahead of the game to come close to keeping up today. Like if you had, let's say, Anderson Silva prime with some more of the modern grappling training, be crazy. AJ applied to become the full MMA member in Nelk. People forget that's a throwback and a half, bro. That's way back. Classic era. Should the UFC put Hockett on the 324 presser? The division needs something, man. I think they should. I don't know. Is Paramount going to be a little bit, particular about what's said? I think less than ESPN would be. I don't think they're going to put him on the presser, but I think he'll have a sick media day. I think Hockett's doing it right. A Colby Covington at the heavyweight division is going to get people to tune in. And I think the right strategy right now for the UFC, you keep building up Hockett. You get Gable Steveson to the UFC. You get Gable on the White House card. I think eventually Hockett and Gable Steveson is like the heavyweight Usman versus Covington, obviously without, the title on the line, most likely. Did I get my experts jersey yet? Bro, I didn't. I feel bad. Oh, shit. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. Damn. I got to reach out to the dude. He's probably like, fuck this guy. He's probably like, fuck this guy. He never picked it up. Bro, I just don't have a P.O. box right now. Dan Hardy loses to Randy Brown. He could catch Randy, though. But I could see Randy Brown's boxing. He definitely would fuck up Chaos Williams, though. So I don't know. I think Dan Hardy would still be on the cusp of top 15, top 20. I think Mike Malott beats him, too. Charles Johnson going to smoke Alex Perez? Bro, let me tell you this, KZ. If Charles Johnson can sleep Alex Perez like he did Launer Kavanaugh, skyrockets the stock. I think Charles Johnson is a guy that's poised for a run. His only recent loss is Temerov, who tested positive for the shit. So you take out the fucking PED abuse, and now you have Charles Johnson on a tear right now. If you do Charles Johnson, Alex Perez, he wins that fight. Sky's the limit, man. Charles Johnson could end up fighting, Moreno Almabayev winner. He's in the running for something on, true elite contention. Even if he goes out and he wins impressively, I mean, he could make a call for some of the elites in the division. He could fight, Brandon Royval was coming off a loss. Like, that's cool too. Did I watch Growing the Nelk Pot? I didn't finish it, bro. Steiny was coming for Guru for no reason. Well, listen, he's defending his boy Dana. I didn't watch it all. I've probably got about 7 minutes into the whole thing. I've probably got about 7 minutes into the whole thing, bro. Listen, Full Send MMA is in chat, bro. Dude, do you ever feature in Nelk videos or anything like that? Or they just have you strictly the MMA stuff? Like, do you hang out with them in life, like real life, or are you more just their MMA guy? I've always wondered that. Paramount UFC commercials said they're gonna bring the theatrics. I look forward to seeing them. Sick of those ESPN commercials. Pocket super entertaining, have a good career feel. I think so, man. As much as people, on the flip side, they like to shit on the edgy shit talk. There's also a lot of people that love that edgy shit talk. And at the very least, better to be hated and people talking about you than nobody giving a fuck. I feel like Lucas, because so many people still have Jones, GSP, Mighty, Anderson, all those, their top five goats. That's not the case. That's the old, exactly. I'm with you, bro. I Swerve, I think you're 100% right. That is the old era mentality. But with the modern era upon us, I think it's good that, people are starting to open ideas to like Islam, Taporia, different guys becoming, on the GOAT status caliber. Him and Asplin talking shit was nice. What'd you have to do for a media pass? I'd probably just have to apply. But dude, I'd be streaming, man. So you see them during fight weeks, we running it solo, one man show, other than a cameraman. Hey, that's good to know, man. I respect the one man show as somebody that does the one man show. That's what's up, bro. Yeah, I was wondering if like there was any of them behind the scenes working with you. Listen, it's cool that you're a part of Full Set MMA, bro. Very cool. I remember when you got the fucking gig, man. It's pretty dope. Just keep asking some good questions at the fucking presser, man. Ask some edgy shit. Do they give you a list of what you can't say? Can you tell me behind the scenes, Full Set MMA? Do they tell you some things you can't ask? You tend to ask more fun shit than most. You're keeping the full send mentality alive, but Jesus, dude, the fucking some of the other media guys, they keep it very basic. And I don't know, dude. I'm curious if they give you like limitations, like, or is it like somebody told you, listen, you can't ask this, and that. If you can't tell me, don't tell me. I know it might be some, you know, shit you can't say to me on stream. I get it. I think GSP and John Jones are guys like Ali and Robinson, and that they will always be viewed as fighters who could have been at least a serious problem for any modern great fighters. Yeah, I think they are timeless elites. I think GSP and John Jones become that. John Jones, especially. I mean, look at light heavyweight today. John Jones, if I told you he was fighting against, Yuri Prohashka, I think he has a pathway. I think Alex Pereira and him, he has a pathway. I do think that the striking of Poatan, if John Jones is unsuccessful in taking him down, it's a chance of the one shot KO. And like, as great as the John Jones career was, when I think of true one punch knockout specialist, right, that he fought throughout his career, when you really look through the mill of the hard hitters that he fought, like, okay, Vitor Belfort, but he was a middleweight that moved up and, nearly submitted John Jones. When I look at the one punch power, I would say, Rampage hit hard, but maybe a tad bit overrated with how hard he hit. Lyoto Machida had good timing, but he had taken some losses before that fight. You look at, Gustafsson, more of a slick kickboxer. Teixeira had good boxing and he put some people away, but it wasn't like explosive, nasty, just freakish KO power. I'd say like Dominic Reyes was a hard hitter that he fought with slick hand speed. And obviously Reyes gave him a real run for his money. I just wonder how that Rumble Johnson fight would have looked. Like that would have been cool because Rumble's power was out of this world. That's something I would have liked to have seen. You never asked her in the press, but yeah, okay. Okay. I got you. I understand what you're saying. How does AJ get his shot at interviews and pressers? Whose shoulders does he have to rub? I just have to fly to the event, bro. I like sitting here and streaming, man. GSP is a worse version of Nicholas Dalby. That's crazy, Miller Depot. You don't actually mean that, do you? You don't really mean that. I don't believe you. I don't think you really mean that. Armin is married with young children, but he's busy being a playboy traveling the world. I mean, it's Arman Saruki. He's a young savage, bro. You know, he's traveling the world. He's collabing with people. He's a pro fighter, man. It's part of the prize fighter lifestyle. AJ, big shout outs, bro. What you're doing is really hard job. People think it's easy, but it's probably harder than the average job. I appreciate the hype kings, bro. Listen, everybody got a tough gig going and they show up every day and make it happen. I'm no different, man. Problem is, most of the questions get asked during media day. So guys asking questions don't know what to ask. Also, fighters don't want to give as much anymore. Go back 10 years. The questions were bad, but fighters gave more. Fair take. Yeah, no, that's fair. The media day is another element of it that you guys kind of pushed aside. But like, they don't save stuff. I feel like they should save some for the presser. Want to limit how much they say. I want to hear everything, bro. I want to hear it all, you know? I think that's why like Sean Strickland rose to, the heights that he did with the fans for, a while. And he's still, one of the more popular UFC fighters because he's willing to say so much on the mic. It's always appreciated when people are fucking unfiltered, dude. I always love it. If they took weight cutting out and made fighters fight closer to actual weights, who do you guys think would see the biggest decline in their overall game? Biggest decline. They fight in their actual weights. That's a tough question. Huh. I don't think it's Ilya Taporia or Arman Sarukian because they're not that big for the weight class. Maybe Diego Lopez a little bit because him at lightweight, I don't think fares nearly as well as he does at featherweight. That's a really hard question, bro. Best movie of all time, like inherent bias pick. I always enjoyed Rocky growing up, but that's very much inherent bias. The greatest film of all time, spectacle, kind of just going off personal bias. Hey, make sure you guys hit that like button, chat. I know it's the final Friday of the off week, so the big numbers are coming next week, but don't be afraid to hit the likes for your boy now. It's so ironic that Dana, with his unfiltered mouth, is so thin skinned when it comes to being asked tough questions by MMA reporters. He does get pissy. Yeah, with the boxing stuff, he was pissed. Pissed. I'm based in Tampa, Florida, full send MMA. What about you, bro? Feel like Hamzat would actually benefit fighting closer to natural weight. Dude, Hamzat at light heavyweight is still good. I would love to see him in Yuri Prohashka. It's just such a random fight that just, I don't know, I feel like he could deliver something crazy. You know? That'd be sick. That'd be sick. I'm imagining it right now. Hamzat hitting some takedowns. Yuri just relentless from the bottom, still survives. Catches Hamzat with some big shots on the feet. Save the how much would winning this belt questions mean to you for the media day. Pressers should have questions like, Patty, what do you think of Justin saying you're overhyped? I think, yeah, like make the bullshit call out the bullshit at the presser and get it face to face. I agree. You feel like Armin should show up to the presser with a question or two for Patty and Dana? I hope he does. Hope he does. We should link at a BKFC card this year. I'd be down for a full send MMA. Yeah, we could definitely link up, bro. That'd be cool. That'd be a dope collab, bro. Because BKFC always be coming around Florida. The main thing is just, if it can be a fucking Friday or a UFC off week that they have one. Just because I'm doing the fight companions for the full card every Saturday, bro. Like, nonstop. But no, I'd like to. I'd be down as fuck, bro. I think you're a cool dude, bro. And I thought it was pretty dope that you sparred Sean Strickland. That was cool as fuck. Bro, if I got to see Yuri beat up Hamzat, I'd probably cream in my pants. You're funny as fuck, Casey. Yeah, full send. We'll talk, bro. You can always DM me on IG or vice versa. I can message you and we can see what fucking timeline works up. You streamed or you vlogged during the PKFC card? You because you covering it too? You just more like going there to chill. But no, that'd be cool, bro. I'd be very interested in that. That'd be very cool. The Paramount era, there's more chances of in person, face to face interviews. What I want back for the Paramount era, telling you this right now, what I fucking want back. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I want the fucking sit downs, especially between two fighters that don't like each other. I want them sitting in fucking chairs with anybody. It could be Joe Rogan, could be John Anik, Daniel Cormier. I don't care. Somebody sitting right in the fucking center between them both and asking the tough questions. And I want some tempers to flare. Have the security there ready to jump in just in case shit goes crazy. But can you imagine? We got Ilya Taporia, Arman Sarukian sitting across each other before the fight. Come on, dude. That blows up. That's what we need. That builds something. I want that. That is something I really want this year. I really hope, fingers crossed, they bring that back. Could be the Patty Pimblett fight, whatever. I really want that shit. Be a dope collab. Yeah, it would be a W collab. Full Send MMA and Experts collab. That'd be cool. I'm gonna do more collabs this year, bro. That's actually something I said to you guys on the other stream. Was that 2 days ago? I like the idea of more collabs. I think it'd be a vibe. That's what you meant with the face-to-face interviews? They need to do it, bro. Ilya Patty face-to-face. Come on. Yeah. I want it, bro. I vote yes on that shit. I vote yes on that shit. Yes, please on that shit. Dominic Cruz sitting in the front of people and rage baiting them was the best shit ever. He was blessed with the rage bait abilities. I like that. I like that shit. I'm upset I didn't get to see his prime live. I'm sorry you didn't, bro. The full expert show. It's funny. Sit downs are impossible now. Too many outside factors. It's not the fighters. It's the 30 team members these guys bring with them. Not enough security to watch the two teams. That's a good behind the scenes take. Full Send MMA. Shit. Damn, bro. I guess you're on it. Yeah, they do. Now they do come with armies, right? Back in the day, it was like, fighter, coach, training partner, another coach and just chilling. Now it's like yeah, you're right. They do bring 30 fucking people. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I wonder if they could be like, listen, we'll pay you for this. You cannot bring more than two people to the team. And that's it. But they'll be waiting outside. That is crazy, bro. The whole fucking army of guys coming. I guess, Hamzat and Team Diaz type shit. I don't know. I hope we get some bottle throwing again. I want something crazy to happen. That's a good point. Armin attacked Bobby Green with 5 dudes while Bobby Green was alone. True, bro. Think about it. They don't want shit popping off at fighter hotels between the teams. Now, it makes a lot of sense, Full Send MMA. From like the logistics standpoint, I 100% see why they don't do it. I guess I just fucking, missed the one-on-one. I just miss. I wish it was possible. I guess it's wishful thinking that they could bring it back. But you are right. It's fucking. These guys are ready to fight each other on the street for no money when they're about to get in the cage, anyways. Teams not allowed. No, I get you. That is interesting, right? The team thing is what shifted it because people come with whole gangs. It's an army. How many street soldiers are currently in the chat, including AJ? That's funny as fuck. 65 of them. Chandler will get paid after years for appearances just to say, Conor McGregor, you're next. What a letdown for Michael Chandler. Can we just have a moment of silence, actually, from Michael Chandler realizing that the McGregor fight has died? So let me just pipe down for 5 seconds. We're sorry, Michael Chandler. We're sorry, but it's time to move the fuck on with your life. Manuel Torres, Michael Chandler. Bingo. Dope fight. Everybody wants to see it. That's it. Yeah, you're not gonna get paid like, a McGregor fight, but I don't know. It's not like he's getting that much more for the McGregor fight. Like you're in a contract. Sure, you don't get the chance to take out McGregor, but the UFC's not into it. Dana White said, "Oh, it's a few years. It's over now." You know? I was sitting for dinner with Nursultan Rizziboyev in Chicago when Battle missed weight. Battle showed up in the restaurant and shit almost popped off. There's about 20 Uzbeks ready to throw it. That's fucking crazy, man. It's really turned into like some armies versus armies, right? That's crazy. That's wild, bro. Holy fuck. At least Battle came nicely. He wanted peace, but yeah, no, that shit could have went crazy at that restaurant. Holy fuck. Yeah, was Battle alone or did he have a crew with him too? Rest in peace, the 2 years of Chandler's career that he wasted. It was 2 years of his prime. You're gonna have 8 hours of silence for Chandler. Hey, what's up, nerd Yin? What's up, dog? Thank you for 15 months of membership, you savage. Too soon to bet for breakdowns. I'm gonna drop my pick Sunday, bro. Sunday, I'm going all in with the predictions. You need them to have an event that's just one team versus another. They have that team fighting shit in Russia. When your home country only has one popular fighter, they basically become a gang leader from the Warriors movie. They would have to have consequences, Doug. I agree. The problem is, I don't think they want to be suspending guys because of shit like that. AJ just got one of those top boxes and got a signed Delgado card. No, not a bad prospect at all. I think he has elite potential, bro. Fuck yeah. Who should John fight after he beats Allen? Wow. I mean, John Silva's their guy. The UFC wants him to win. John Silva beats Arnold Allen, who's ranked number 6. I like John Silva versus Yair Rodriguez. I don't know Yair's timeline of return, but with John fighting this weekend, I feel like Yair is going to want to come back a little later, April, May. And I think if John looks good, or next weekend, I should say, I think John Silva Yair is a perfect fight. So I like John Silva versus Yair. Battle was outnumbered, came over to the table and apologized, and lucky it was all good. Thank God, bro. Could have got fucking hurt, man. Holy shit. Yeah. Thankfully, it didn't escalate, bro. That would have been fucking crazy, bro. Holy shit. You guys are ready to throw down at all times now, man. These guys are fucking, fighters outside and in the cage, man. True warrior shit. I like Brian Battle. He seems like a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Brian, you know what I'm saying, Battle. Armin is an example when he went for the fan. It happens because no consequence, but Armin has been a good example of them to not do it. Yeah, Armin crashes out, headbutt, everything. But I will say, he got pissed at that fan. He cracked him. It's Arman Sarukian, you know? That is a sick fight. They got to do Yair versus Diego at Noche this year. Probably save Yair for then. You might be right, especially if Diego is, even if Diego loses, Diego win or lose. And last time I saw Yair, bro, he looked like a fucking light heavyweight. Holy shit. I like that Yair versus John Silva fight, but you're right. There's so much beef around that Diego Lopez fight that's probably more likely on their top priority list. I don't know. John Silva versus, Lerone Murphy, Movzar. It really depends on how this fight against Arnold Allen goes. If he knocks Arnold Allen out and he comes out unscathed, I could see the UFC offering him a relatively quick turnaround, especially that we don't have Movzar, we don't have Lerone booked. Possibility. Battle got too big for his britches. Ignore my boy AJ. I know. I was disappointed, bro. I was like, what the fuck, bro? I tried to get him to come on the show for the interview, and he just fucking left me on scene, bro. Told me to go fuck myself. Experts full send collab. I think it would be a good time. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. Am I running a members only anytime soon? I'm bringing those back next week. I'm bringing them back next week, bro. I'm gonna be more on time, Jay. than ever before. You're noticing it now. I'm not fucking around, bro. I'm up in the time management skills. That was my plan for 2026. Now that Brian is in the PFL, maybe it won't big time you and actually do the interview. You're right, bro. Now he's PFL battle, he'll come on the show. But UFC battle, bro, acting like fucking McGregor out here. Maybe I'll do a member StreamYard call in or something like that. Yeah. Maybe I'll use StreamYard just for members. Dude, you have to understand, StreamYard fucked me a number of times that I just don't like using their product anymore. Steiny AJ collab is funny as fuck. Dude, I don't like using the product where it pissed me off. You know? Like how many fucking times? It was like 3 streams in 3 weeks. Their shit lagged out on me and just ruined the stream. So it's like I'm having a hard time wanting to use their product for anything other than Moneyline. Like for Moneyline, it's cool. Remember the sales rep joined the stream? It's funny as fuck. But yeah, I am Punctuality J 2026 for sure. Bringing heat. Back on business J, turn into punctual J. Yeah, exactly. Because the back on business is a guarantee, right? And now the punctuality will be too. The G named AJ. What's up, Jake Edwards? What's up, bro? What's up, bruh? Gotta look at this BKFC schedule, bro. When are they coming around Florida again? All right, BKFC Saturday. I didn't realize BKFC was on Saturday. The Mohegan Sun. Back February 7th. That Knucklemania card is sick. I really wish they would have done it on a different day, bro. You know, can you you imagine they would have done Knucklemania on that, off week of the UFC? I know that I guess it makes sense. Like their mentality is let's do the cards on the Saturday because that is the big time spot. And BKFC's got a big enough fan base now that, they can run that shit like that. But I don't know. But that card, man, February 7th is a good card. It's a fun Apex card. That's a shisty Apex card. Merch update soon enough. What does it take to spike my cortisol? Oh, StreamYard issues. Corose pull the big upset off. Good. You could. You could see it. I get why you could see it, but I don't know how I feel about predicting it. You know? I know my math doesn't work, but John Silva goes the distance with Max like Arnold did, which was very competitive. I don't think Silva. What do you think Silva get put away? Styles make the fights too. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna use the Arnold Allen Max Holloway fight too much. John Silva's power is different. I do think though, John Silva hitting really hard, but that cross. I'm telling you, I'm excited to see how that cross block translates into the fight. What do we have for likes? 37? Yeah, guys. Beans Vault said it, bro. The likes are a little low, man. Run the likes up. Run the likes up for the boy. You think Max would piece Silva up more than Allen did? Or more than Max did on Allen? I don't know, man. John Silva could have some moments. I think Max Holloway would outbox him, but John Silva cracks, man. I think that Max Holloway has that iron chin like a Diego Lopez, so he could absorb some of the big shots. So it's like John Silva is more of the finisher. Arnold Allen is a guy that I think could coast and go distance better. So like I get what you're saying that maybe Max would stop him. I get the mentality, Doug. Yeah, I think Natalia Silva should beat Thug Rose, man. If Thug Rose pulls the upset off there, it's major stuff. Arnold being written off, I think it's because of the stylistic matchup with the power hitter and the fact that Arnold is also a striker, not bringing a substantial grappling threat to the fight. And on top of that, I also have to say, being off for, a year and a half plus for Arnold Allen, and then going into one of the most dangerous fights, as far as pound for pound punch power. Dana trying to get the Russian tough canceled. Why? Why? Why is he trying to get it canceled? Why is that? Why is that? His name is Arnold, not picking a dude named Arnold. Listen, don't hate on the name Arnold. Hey, Arnold's a throwback show. The time off, I think, yeah, but he is well rounded. He's sub Mads Burnell. That's true. That's when Mads Burnell was good. Mads Burnell's kind of fallen off. You guys remember when Mads Burnell was on Moneyline? Yeah, you're Diego. We'll see what happens with his Volk fight, but it's probably on the cusp. But if Arnold Allen does beat John Silva's ass, can you imagine that? That'll be crazy. Arnold has made a lot of improvements during his time off, which fighting nerds haven't got to study on. Something they prioritize doing with opponents. That's fair. Arnold's been out, but leveling up. I get it. Listen, I get where you're coming from. I get it. You're saying don't sleep on Arnold Allen. John Silva's good, but how good? It's just, dude, John Silva's striking was still looking great against Diego Lopez. Of course, he got caught and he overextended himself, but he landed some beautiful straight punches. And I think those straight shots are going to be there too against Arnold. But I understand the Arnold Allen pick, and you're not crazy for it. And if you're betting on Arnold Allen, I mean, you got a good sized dog. I feel like I'd be more surprised by an Arnold Allen win than a Silva win. I agree with that, Casey. Definitely. Pretty much. I'm not saying Silva can't win, not at all, but the disrespect for Arnold is crazy. They're doubting Arnold Allen, but it's just a bad matchup. I respect the Arnold Allen believers, man. Arnold Allen gave Movzar one of his toughest fights as well. Imagine, right? Next week, Saturday, Arnold Allen pulls off the upset. We're sitting here thinking, wow, Doug Funny's the Mystic Mac, bro. The Mystic Doug dropping savage takes, bro. What an animal. I respect it, dude. I respect it, bro. I respect it, you savage. If John has his wife in the corner again, I'm done. I feel like 90% chance he does. I think so. Watching Movzar play tippy tappy was super lame. Regardless of the lack of finishes, bro, he does know how to win. Arnold has never been finished. 2 decision losses, and one was that Avloya fight where he was robbed of the finish. With the modern day rule set too, he might get that W, according to the scorecards with those knees. Rico Verhoeven should fight Derek Lewis on the White House prelims. Or can you imagine Rico debuts against D-Lou? Rico Verhoeven UFC debut. They got to feed him a striker. Honest question, bro. As an MMA YouTuber, do you ever feel pressured to make rage bait or niche content given the way it's headed? I get a ton of it on my Twitter feed with guys going back and forth. You know what, Full Send MMA? I see why the temptation is there, bro, but I just want to give my take. I've kind of just built this whole channel off just being myself, covering the game with, the truth. If I think something's real, I'll say it, but I'm not going to try and like fabricate a, belief on my own part and like compromise what the fuck I think and then like try to get views for it. So I see the temptation of why guys like doing it, but I like keeping it real, man. I think like as far as like niche content, I would say like upping the amount of news videos I'll do with like base takes, but like the base takes that I give, they're sincere. I'm not like, well, let me say this because that will get me more likes, you know? It's like, or more clicks. I'm kind of just like, let me just fucking be real, you know? I don't know. I like that authentic shit, bro. Never really had an easy time like playing the fake ass like side. I know a lot of it can be, bro. I know exactly what you're saying with MMA, Twitter and stuff. But nah, man, fuck the rage bait, dude. You know? If anything, it'll be genuine rage, not rage bait. Like I made the video about Adesanya versus Piper. And like I said, Dana, I felt like he rage baited the fans with that. And I was pissed off at the start of the video. But like as I started breaking down the fight, I'm not gonna bullshit and say this fight sucks. I like the match. It's a dope ass fight. I didn't think it was like announcement worthy for a live stream. But yeah, so I get the temptation, but I say no. I'm gonna say my realness is I think what can separate me from the pack. That's my thought process. Do we think Charles Johnson gets a knockout? Ooh. Possibility. I don't know. I have a hunch that he's getting the KO. And I'll ask you the same question, Full Set MMA. What do you think about that? I like watching you because you're real G. I like the hey, thanks, Josh Bolton. I appreciate you, bro. The new rules around the knees, Arnold lands those against Movzar. They count as damaging strikes. And yeah, you're right. That could have shifted the whole fucking fight. I still think between Silva and Diego, Silva is the superior technical striker. Diego's skull needs to be studied. That's funny as fuck. It's the freakish grit, bro. The Brazilian Mexican grit is next level. You know, Lucas Tracy dropped the whole film of the 10 greatest UFC fighters of all time. Islam was number one, but Anderson Silva, Mighty Mouse were not top 10. Damn. I didn't realize that they weren't top 10. Holy shit. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just fast forwarded to the end of it. I won't lie. Just to the fucking number one. That's pretty cool. He made a full feature length film. Like, that's cool as fuck. Mighty Mouse not top 10. I mean, his competition rate was subpar. I remember laughing at AJ Copen over Natalia Silva spinning backing KO. Teresa Bleda came in. It was an early style. I remember that. Listen, bro, I was pissed off that was when Bleda was supposed to be like the next big thing. She really saw. What a letdown she was, dude. God. Teresa Bleda was really supposed to be something. And then, you know, Jamie Lynn Horth beats the shit out of her. Arnold Allen had a massive fever going into the Mads fight. He didn't say anything about it and went into the fight, but he 1,000% did. He's a savage for it. And he still was able to pull off the win. So none but insane respect about it, you know? Long time ago. But yeah, it shows he's a gangster since day one. He's always been a gangster. Gracia, you remember the throwbacks, bro. Holy shit. Hey, when are you removing the Santa Claus hat, bro? How do you see the Justin versus Patty fight going? Does the obvious take? Patty tries to take him down, tries kicking. I think we'll see Gaethje land a couple of leg kicks. Try to work some boxing, throwing some big shots. I could see him catching catching Patty a few times. I think Patty has more striking success than people assume. I think they assume that he's got no chance throwing hands, but Patty's pretty fast. I think early Gaethje could stop some of the takedowns. I think eventually Patty can get him to the floor. But I also think Patty could end up finding success with the threat of takedowns, but then open it up with big punches and potentially even rocking Gaethje. And then I think if Patty is able to get to a dominant position, like let's say Patty gets the back, I think the fight's pretty much done. So I think rear naked strangle is very live. Never, Gracious. Christmas always respect. Patty by sub 100%. Patty's hands have looked better with each of his last 3 fights, and I think here against, a Gaethje that's towards the twilight, I think it should be pretty on point. Watch Patty's open workout clips from the Apex yesterday. Might be a bad night for Gaethje, unfortunately. Patty's probably the biggest 55 in the division. He has crazy size. You're right about that. I should watch his open workout clips. I'll look at it right now. Full send MMA right here with the fucking post, bro. He looks jacked, bro. In shape, Patty the fucking baddie. Championship caliber Patty the baddie. Dude, I think Patty's a lock on the card. I really do. I just don't see Patty taking the L to Gaethje. I think the guys that, Patty's gonna run into trouble with are Ilya Taporia, Arman Sarukian. I was even saying I think he could beat Charles Oliveira after, even the Chandler fight. Do you think Joe Rogan takes those steel cup takes in 2026 Paramount UFC? They should tell him not to say it, but I think he will. I don't think Patty's going to be shooting double legs or single legs, but I see him having a lot of success with the body lock takedown, jumping up to Justin's back from a body lock position, working for a standing rear naked. That's something that I see too. Not your traditionalist like single double leg, but getting to a better spot. I agree. I agree. I can see him jump in the back. I can see him hitting a drag down from there. Yeah. He's in ridiculous shape, man. It could be a very bad night for Gaethje fans. I think it's gonna be, dude. I think it's gonna be. I don't see Gaethje winning. I think Patty's gonna fuck him up, man. Like I really feel like Patty's a lock on that card. I have a hard time seeing a pathway for Gaethje. Like, of course, you could catch him, but like Patty at minus 225 favorite too. I agree with the odds, man. I agree 100%. Have we seen any Sean O'Malley clips, full send? Sugar Show open workout? Oh, Patty the baddie. Patty hits him with a fucking flying triangle. Yeah, Patty's a fucking G, man. You think Justin retires the 24th in the cage? I could see that too. We game all night. This isn't the Gaethje who beat Tony. Exactly. That was years. That was 5 years ago, bro. Vachos versus Emmett booked. Is that actually real? Vachos and Emmett's booked officially? Is this real? Vachos and Emmett? I like the fight. I like it a lot. I thought they would maybe go the Pitbull route. O'Malley, the new co-main. I want to see Harrison. Yeah, same. But I look forward to seeing Sugar Show back on business. I'm happy as fuck. The 6-week break is finally over. Me too, KZ. Been so long. People underrate Patty too much. It's from an emotional POV. I think people having a strong emotions towards him. But I think Patty is starting to be properly rated by a majority. I know Finch still hates Patty with all his heart. Agent, my Italian brother, I thought about this and would love to hear your input. Think we ever see a fighters union, similar how NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB have it? I think they tried that and it didn't work, man. I don't think we get a fighters union. Maybe not this decade. Maybe 2030. I don't know. I'll say not this decade. Force the UFC executives to pay for more. I don't think the UFC. I don't think UFC lets it happen. At least not this decade. I don't know. Maybe in the 2030s. Thoughts on Yair being entitled all of the time? He's entitled, bro. He's allowed to be. He's allowed to be. He's one of Mexico's most popular. People do talk like Patty hasn't gotten better. People really act like Patty is the same guy that, went to a close decision with Jared Gordon. It's not the same. Yeah, Brady, I don't see a union this decade. It's official. Videos and Emmett. Okay. Okay. I didn't know that. Where'd you see it? Is it on X? I haven't seen anything. I have not seen a thing, bro. I haven't seen one. Fair, but if all fighters collectively agree to lockout style walkout from a sport, then what choice do they have? They won't, though. See, that's the difference. The fighters will not team up like that. Nah. They still need to make money, bro. Guys will say, no, we're not going to do it. And then people are just going to end up, walking out in the UFC will say bye bye then. I don't see it. On UFC's Instagram? Yeah. Check it out right now. Yeah. Wow. Wow. UFC Vegas 114. Main event, March 14th. Holy shit. That's a big announcement. It's a good fight. Listen, Vacheios is on that title track. He's gonna beat Josh Emmett. Different. Can confirm Yair is one of those guys that you don't F with. A lot of people talk trash, but are different off camera. Yair willing to swing on side. I've always got that vibe from Yair. I've always got that vibe. He doesn't give a fuck. If it's going down, he's throwing down type of vibe. Yeah, he seems like that. Yair gives me very he don't give a fuck vibes. Him and Ilya can't even be remotely close to each other because they'll throw down. Yeah, bro. Listen, I respect him being so about it, bro. But yeah, that's that Mexican savagery inside of him. He's got that fucking cartel blood, bro. He's not fucking around. That Vegas card is stacked. Dude, UFC Vegas 114, Thunder. Why is that fight at the Apex? They wanna bring some good fights to the Apex, I guess. They should. They should just have that in front of fans. You're right, though. That's a good fight night card, like in front of people, but whatever. Good fight either way. I mean, the small cage more likely gives us even more violence because not gonna be much room to fucking move. You think the UFC needs to retire the Apex? You sick of it? KZ, I am not sick of it. Why? Because I'd rather have Apex than nothing, bro. After this 6-week break, I'm not even gonna bitch about the fucking meta Apex. I'm gonna check out the boxing stuff. Yeah, Doug. I want to watch more. I just want to see what it looks like, than anything else. 13, 14, and 15, all Apex back to back to back. The meta Apex, bro. Maybe they'll listen. Maybe they'll bring something different with it. I don't think they will. Look at the UFC schedule real quick. All right. The meta Apex. All right. Wait, I don't know if they're all back to back to back. Double check. Um so we're at the Apex February 7th. We're at the Apex again on March 14th. And we're at the Apex again April 4th. No, it's a few weeks in between all of them. It's not back to back to back. I think they're sprinkling them in at like the right amount. They're sprinkling them in like once a month. After 326, every card's an Apex card until the White House. Nah, 327's in Miami. Bro, give me Vacheios knockout over Josh Emmett. I agree the fans deserve to be able to watch the fights in arenas, but at the end of the day, I'd rather an Apex card The no card. I think it was Luke Thomas was saying he liked the break because it makes you look forward to being back more than when it's all the time. I guess that's fair. I mean, I'm fucking salivating at the bit for it to be back, dude. Lost my mind during the break. Also, chat. We're currently at 44 likes. The likes are low. I want 50. Smash the like button. UFC Vegas. Every so often, the Apex cards are fine. So we're back, with two big events and then an Apex card. And then we have an off week. And then we're back with Texas, Mexico City, T-Mobile Arena, and then Apex card. And then we're going to London, which is fucking awesome, the following week. And then we're going to Seattle, and then we're back at the Apex. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I don't mind it, dude. You enjoy the Apex. You became a fan during the Apex. I feel like I appreciate the Apex, at least when the cards are filled with sick main events. I think it all really comes down to how do they put the cherry on top, When they do like mid main events, I get upset. I don't think they're expanding the Apex. I think that was a joke. I think somebody made that rumor up. It was just a rumor. I think doing the Apex sprinkled in throughout the year is fine. I have no issue with that. I think I don't like it when, it felt like it was constant Apex. I don't like back to back Apex cards. I like a few cards in person, Apex card, a few cards in person, Apex card. That doesn't bother me. After a big numbered event, Apex card, that's fine. With it being the meta Apex, are we going to be able to watch the fights on the Oculus from a couch? That'd actually be crazy. I think I could see that happening. The Apex necessary to host the Dylan Budd because he's cut from the UFC. But guys like that. There is construction at the Apex. Fight Disciple showed it. Okay. I didn't know that. So they're expanding the UFC Apex. Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker is one of my favorite fights of all time. And that fight was at the Apex. That was a fucking cult banger. That was a classic war, man. I get it, dude. I'm with you with the big crowds too, KZ. But sprinkling in the Apex, hey, it's not a problem. That's how I think of it. It's not a problem. Maybe it's not optimal for us, but also I'll say not a problem. Yeah, Apex is definitely way cheaper for them uses. Fuck yeah. I need the UFC back. Shake my fucking head. Been away from it too long. Listen, bro, we're back. Hermanov, we're back. Sunday, full card picks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Savage content leading up to the fights. Saturday, fight campaign. Like, bro, we're back. Back on business, Hermanov. We're back on business, bro. Back on business like savages. I'm so ready to be back, bro. I'm actually really excited for this week's best of MMA bets, dude. First card back. I'm thinking we're going to lock a two-leg. Make it easy for ourselves. Which two-leg? I'm undecided. But I see a good chunk. We're back, bro. Exactly. We needed Hermanov. Patty might be in that two-leg, maybe not. You'll see, uses. You'll see. You'll see, bro. We'll see what happens. I'm just ready to work, man. I'm ready to fucking bring it. Back on business real soon. I'm counting down the fucking days too, guys. Don't think I'm not. The Apex crowds are as silent as a 20K person Japan crowd. It's funny. I think the Apex is louder than that. Bro, yeah, Mo Usman suspended 30 months. He ain't back till 28, bro. His career's over. His career's done. Buckley getting that kill over Impo was at the Apex. Come on, that should have happened in front of 10,000 screaming fans. I get it. I get it. I get it. Well, thankfully, our first two cards were back on business in front of the crowds. I'm so excited, bro. Like, I'm giddy as fuck, man. Can't fucking wait, man. Holy shit. Holy shit. I think Usman's dad is he a chemist? I thought he was a pharmacist. He still got caught. It makes sense that he was taking testosterone. I mean, he had a build of a guy that was on testosterone. You know? He looks like he's on roids. He's freakishly jacked. Like, really, who the fuck is built naturally like that? Krylov versus Bukowskis lines got tighter, but I still think Bukowskis wins. I think so too, Evan. Or Evar, I should say. Evaristo Camilo. Your two leg is Hawking and Charles Johnson. I like that. And I think you're onto it. What's up, Vince? Well, Happy New Year, bro. Good to see you. We're close to getting back on business, Jay. We're close to the UFC return. Just 8 days away. 8 days away from the UFC return. Dude, without roids, he would have been a fucking light heavyweight. That's funny. 8 days away from the UFC return, bro. Oh my gosh, this is great. This is amazing. It feels like, bro, fuck Christmas. The UFC return is everything. Everything, bro. I know, bro. We've been deprived. How do you feel about Song plus 3.5, minus 135? Like as a gift to just win one round against Sean? But what if he gets tuned up 30-27 and Sean just looks sharp as ever? You think the MMA comment of the decade was when Dana White told the reporter, I don't give a fuck about the virus? Yeah. Maybe. Because you know what? He was right. He didn't give a fuck. And he still brought us fights. That's what started this channel, bro. So shout out to it. Isn't that crazy? That's what brought the channel, bro. Without that, who knows who I would have been. So I thank that virus for coming through and blessing me with a chance, dude. Because I started the channel right around that time. Which is crazy to think about. Crazy, crazy, crazy to think about. I think if Song gets the takedown, he's winning a round. Just depends for real. You're right on the feet. Price gets tuned up. And does Song take him down? O'Malley's takedown defense doesn't suck. He just fought Marab. I think Song's going to try and wrestle, but that's not his game. Usman has as much acne as a high school prepubescent. Maybe a during puberty, actually, would be more proper. Like a fucking 10th grader. The acne days, I'll never forget. Joshua Van Minel cop next, and I'm scared that he loses that belt. I won't lie to you. Song got one takedown against Jan and two against Corey. Does he control, though? Does he hit the takedown, but does he control from top? He is a savage for that, Daryl. Fuck yeah. He's an animal for that. A certified gangster for that. Nothing but respect for that. He deserves a lot of respect for it. For real. He does, man. Even though now he's half asleep most of the time. He deserves a lot of respect. Listen, guys, hit the likes. I'm about to get up out of here. I'm building anticipation for the UFC comeback. All right. I'm going to go work out, eat, and then I'll have some content for you over the weekend. The 324 official predictions are going to drop. I did the early predictions during the break. I will do the official predictions and release them Sunday. So we're bringing some savagery. Can we get an AJ Boogie in the hoodie? I do a seated shadow box to close out the show, bro. Fucking mystical. I feel like Tony Ferguson up in here, bro. Make sure you guys smash the like button. W to the chat. We're back. We're back. Big things are coming. I can't fucking wait. All right. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Love you all. Peace out.